Narayana Reddy from Narayana Technology. So, whatever we are going to explaining that is in project management. So, in the previous videos, we just come up with the abstract SRS database layer, presentation layer, business layer, and integration layer. So, that is what we explained in the previous videos. That is where we explain that is abstract, what is meant by abstract and purpose of abstract, and as well as objective of the object, number of modules, number of users, environment, and as well as hardware software requirement. In SRS, we explain that requirement overview, system requirement, hardware requirement, functionality requirement, existing proposed systems, number of modules, input output design, SDLC methodology, and entire architecture. And in the second video, we explain the database layer, presentation layer, business layer, and as well as integration layer. So where we given that how to creation of databases and relations and all those things, and next presentation layer how to creating web pages and static and as well as dynamic web page server side programming and etc. And in business layer how to work with assemblies or packages according to the language specification of .NET or Java languages, data access layers, business layers, and creating class diagrams. Then we explain that how to integration of your application here. So this is what we explained in the previous videos of project management. Now in the current video we are just explaining about unit testing, project deployment, and as well as project life cycle. So we know that what is meant by testing. Testing is nothing but once the application has been developed, we have to be check out that the kind of things, whether it is in whatever we're giving inputs which is valid or not, and expecting results is correct or not. These things has to be tested in the application here. So that is in the testing process, you may be knowing that some kind of testing things like a black box testing mechanism, white box testing mechanism, that is nothing but a functionality testing and as well as GUI testing mechanism. And after that we should be test that unit test. The unit test is nothing but individual module based testing mechanism is called as unit test mechanism. And generating the in unit test mechanism, then preparation of manual test cases for unit test mechanism and creation of manual test cases for unit test cases mechanism. That is what is a manual testing process mechanism is whatever the thing we are going to giving that. For example, login page, if you are giving the login page, what is input requirement according to the login page? Nothing but username and as well as password. And once you give the username and password, what you are going to expecting that result. So that result is success or failure. These things has to be created in the unit testing process mechanism. Then as well as execute this kind of test cases here. Then second one is called project deployment. In project deployment, there may be different kind of procedures for project deployment. That is project deployment steps to be followed. That is, so if you are going to developing the project using the web-based related project, then according to the Java or according to the .NET languages, if you are developing that is using the .NET language mechanism, this project has to be deployed by using the Visual Studio process mechanism in published. After publishing that, this kind of things you have to be deployed into the IIS server, that is Internet Information Server. If it is a Java application, if you are using this Tomcat, Apache Tomcat, you should be deploy that application into the Tomcat Apache web server. So if you are going to developing that is in Java, that is using some kind of IDS like NetBeans IDE or this Eclipse IDE mechanism, then you should be deploy from there, that is a NetBeans IDE from or else Eclipse IDE itself only to be deployed into the Apache web server or whatever the web servers we are going to using in that Java application related project here. So those we have some steps will be there. The steps has to be follow how to deploy your application or how to deploy your project using the Java language specification of either Java or it is a .NET languages here. So that is the things what we explained from the project management. And one more thing to be remembered that the project life cycle, this you may be knowing that everyone that is first phases that all the projects go through from the inception of to completion of your project. That is the first step is called as analysis. So that is nothing but whenever you are going to developing an application, first thing is called as analyzing the things which are required to be developing that kind of project application by the analyst here. So once this analyst is going to analyzing that project requirement specifications, then it is going to passing to the design team. The design team will be going to designing the required analysis things like different kind of designs like UML designs mechanism or is whatever required designs according to the project specification requirement things. Once it is designed, those things will be going to passing to the developers. So in the development phase, there will be the team leaders will be there, project leader will be there, under that team leaders will be there, team lead under that there is some development team members are there. Those team members will be going to developing the application what designs has been given by the project leader here. So once it is given to the development, then once the application has been development has been completed by the group of team members, that project has to be integrated by the project leader once again. Once this is going to integrating, while integrating that, this everything may be completed, that is development phase and unit test phase here. Once it is integrated, that is the entire application, then this application has to be tested here. After integration, this has to be tested here. While testing that, there will be two kind of testings will be there, that is alpha test and as well as beta test. Alpha test is nothing but before going to releasing the project to the client, you will be going to testing, that is all kind of things will be going to testing, that whether it is perfectly is working according to the client requirement specification or not here. Once it is confirm you that it's working fine, correctly, then you will be going to taking and providing to the client here. And once again, in front of the client, you will be going to testing your application by showing to the client whether whatever your application thinks, that is called as a beta test mechanism. Beta test is nothing but so in front of the client, you will be going to testing, that is application is working correctly or not, with various kind of input validations here. So once it is testing is completed, then it is going to release the application and you will be going to submit this application to the client here. So these are the some phases which are required while developing an application in the project life cycle. That is analysis, the things which are required to be developing an application, that is analysis team. And design team will be going to developing the designment things like UML diagrams, use case diagrams, activity diagrams, sequence diagrams, collaboration diagrams, or whatever related diagrams which are required according to the project requirement analysis things, that is providing to the development team. And development team will be going to developing what the design things has been provided, and once it is development has been completed by the different team members, those things has to be integrated, and integration of that will be going to test the application and will be going to releasing that application to the client here. This is the entire project life cycle process while developing a applications here. So users, you may be understand that what we given up to now, the things of in the project management skills, that is a project management overviews, that is an abstract mechanism, SRS mechanism, and as well as database layer, presentation layer, business layer, and as well as integration layer. Now in this video, we just explained that testing process and as well as deployment process and as well as whatever the project life cycle things here. So you may be having some knowledge about this project management overview mechanism. So users, in the next video will be going to coming with what is a project management architecture will be there, what are the constraints will be there in the project management process here. So users, if you like this video, please like and share, and for more updated videos, please subscribe our channel.